Mom, I am so glad I didn't have Find My Friends when I was a teenager because I wouldn't have be able to get away with as much as I did.
Okay, I guess that's a good thing in retrospect.
I mean, we have so many stories. Remember that time that I snuck to New York City and you
Yes, I
thought I
do.
was at a friend's house?
No, I thought you were. Yes, that's correct. I thought you were at a friend's house, but you wound up being on a bus in the town close to where we lived and then winding up in New York City, which I had no idea about.
Yeah, and I was stupid to post on my Facebook. Back then, you didn't have Facebook, so I thought I was good, but I made it as like my profile picture. But yeah, let's talk about Find My Friends. Let's talk about all the different technology, and I really do wonder how life would have been if you had Find My Friends. I mean, you stalk me now, and I'm like 30 years old.
That's because you allow me to, and I'm grateful for it.
Okay, but
Hey, wait a minute. You
what?
actually stalk me too.
You stalk me a lot more.
Correct, because my life's boring.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, honestly, I feel like I mean, I'm happy that Find My Friends exist now because whenever I have kids, I want to be like stalking them all the time, and they're not gonna be able to like get away with as much as
You
I
did.
got away with back in the day.
So it's come full circle. I remember growing up, my mom would say the same thing to me. I can't wait to see the day when so and so and so and so. And then I had you and your sister, and I did see the day. And now you're going to see the day in the future and think, wow, they were right.
So let's talk about how you were as a teenager. I remember you told me that you like ran away or something,
I
right?
didn't run away, Justine. No, we lived in an apartment house with 2 floors. Then the landlord lived downstairs and we lived upstairs, but was a hallway and the whole room was my room. So, and luckily in the sense that my parents would think I'm asleep, I'd be asleep. But then sometimes I would just sneak out for like an hour or so just to see your dad and talk. We used to just talk in the driveway, no big deal. Just to hang. But that was it. I wasn't being a runaway. I just would sneak out occasionally. I think every teenager has done that once or twice in their lifetime. If they don't, then I think they're lying, but that's okay. No, you would just do it in sense of, Mom, I'm out of the house. At least you know that, but I'm not where I was supposed to be. So I don't know which is worse.
No, but I never snuck out because I mean I don't know how I would be able to sneak out. I mean honestly, I feel like where my room was in the house, I feel like I actually had the room where I could sneak out. You know what I mean? Like
Out
there
the
was like that
window?
little roof underneath my
You would
my
have snuck out the window and run down what are you, Spider Man?
No, no, it's true. I feel like when kids would sneak out, they would sneak out through their window and like at least I had a place where I can jump. I
My
actually know it's
Lord.
really dangerous. What if I slipped?
Yeah.
I didn't even know like what the height was, like how low,
At
like how
least,
far down I would
I
go.
would say at least 15 feet or more.
Oh my gosh, remember that time that dad climbed up the ladder to get in the room when I got my finger stuck in
Yeah.
a
No,
door?
did he do it or did the ambulance?
I think he was going to do it.
But
I
then
think
I
like
called,
that was his instinct, but then he just called 911 and they just no, they didn't no one went up the window. And what the police did, they had like a big one of those like machete knives or whatever, and they like
the jaws of
yeah,
life kind of
that's like
thing.
a yeah. I mean that's a
Okay.
whole other story.
But
But
we're deterring from what we're speaking about. So what was it we're trying to continue with
just like how different technology is and like how Find My Friends like I wonder how like teenagers like sneak around these days. Like I
Okay.
feel like it's just kind of like unless the parent like truly does not care and doesn't do Find My Friends because I feel like most people have iPhones these days.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I actually really wonder. I should get like a random teenager on the
I
podcast and
don't
be like, "Yo, how do you guys like sneak around? Like do your parents have like Find My Friends?"
gracious. Can we actually start back regarding technology from when I entered it in the sense of my first cell phone was the flip phone, which
Really?
had, yeah, I
You didn't
remember.
have a beeper?
You're right. I went back to the
Mom,
beeper.
you're old.
I'm a boomer. But anyway, I think I'm a boomer in the good sense because I
In
can
the
go
good
back.
sense, it's a bad sense?
I don't know. Sometimes we don't get a good rep. But anyway, I'm continuing where I first started with technology was you are correct. I am corrected there that daddy had a beeper. And the beepers back in the day was more for doctors. So when you actually could buy a beeper for an actual, everyday person, that was a big deal. So it was the beeper would go off. I would beep your father, and he'd have to find a phone because they did have payphones back in my day. They were only a quarter,
Mm-hmm.
and he would, of course, he would call me, what's going on? And it would just be silly, not silly things, but say, can you pick up this? Can you pick up that? Or pick up the kids or whatever. Then it went into the first computer, which was as a big monstrosity. It was these,
It's like a dinosaur.
pretty much, it was a big white, my screen monitor with green print. And I used them
Green
where I
print.
worked. They were humongous. And I remember getting my first one at home, and I had a friend who was technologically inclined, or so I thought, came over to try to help us. You were only like 5 years old. And we couldn't get anywhere with it. It was completely null and void. But then later on, we wound up technologically inclined because of you and your sister. As you got older, you knew what was out there compared to what we knew. And I remember you buying me my first nice cell phone for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And it was just odd. I couldn't believe it. I didn't have to use, like, if I wanted to say the letter in like A-R-E, I have to go A, then I have to go to the R, on the
Mm-hmm.
dots. I could just hit, and I would call you because that's what I knew. And you never answered the phone. And I'd say, Justine, I'm calling you. Then you would text me back, Mom, I will not talk to you on the phone. You need to learn how to text. Do you remember that?
Of course I do. And you always remind me every day.
Because I was just not ready for this, to be honest with you. And I'm still not ready for what's happening in this world, but it's just going to progress. So that's where my thinking came from. And now I do appreciate technology for the sense that it does help in a lot of ways. You don't need an encyclopedia like when I was growing up, go to the library. Now you just
Mm.
Google.
Now
So
you have ChatGPT.
chat. Yeah.
It's even more like, yeah, I mean, I still Google things, but now when you Google things, it goes to like automatically like an AI thing. And then,
Mm-hmm.
so you search it and then it'll give you an AI answer and you can like ask it questions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, do you like that? Do you feel like humanity is kind of being pushed to the side in a
Okay,
sense?
so here's my opinion on AI. And I know that right now AI is a really hot topic and it's very controversial. But the way I think about it is I feel like it could be good and bad. I feel that, a lot of people don't like AI when it comes to like the creativity side of it. Like if someone's an artist and if someone is an artist and they're using AI, like I don't agree with that because I'm like, that's your job and you're an artist. And every artist knows that it's a human thing. And using AI is kind of a little weird in my opinion.
Cheating. It's kind of cheating, don't you think?
Right. So I don't agree with that. But when it comes to, I mean, I want to like get real. I mean, you and I, like, you already know for our podcast cover, I did use AI. But the only reason I did is because, one, like, I don't have the ability of making, like, I don't have the skills to be making a really professional one. We don't have the money right now to go to a photo studio and get like really good photos. And, we just started this out too. So I did use real photos of us. So in our podcast cover, it is really us. It's not just like a generated, like, like cartoon of
What you
us.
see is what you get.
Yeah. And plus I see it, I don't plan on having that podcast cover the rest of our whole like
Podcast life.
yeah, like it's always gonna change. But I just, and the main thing of our podcast is conversation. So if we randomly had like AI voices, that'd be kind of weird.
Yeah.
But another thing too, when I edit this podcast, I do use AI through Riverside. And the only reason I use AI through Riverside is that I actually like it just helps take out basic things such as pauses, this, there. And I personally go through the whole episode myself. I listen to the whole episode back. I don't just trust AI and be like, okay, yeah, take this. Okay, you think this is good? Okay, export. No, I do, as a human being, go through the whole episode and listen to the whole episode.
That's the main
Which I know
side of it.
some podcast hosts do not do that, but I do that because I think that's important. So I use AI as an assistant
Okay.
in that way. And I feel like if I did have a big budget, then I wouldn't use AI. So the reason I use AI is for just an assistant. It's not the main Like I'm not just having no brain and just kind of having AI do everything. Like I am well involved in the decision making and the creativity direction. But the way I think about it is like I know some people get mad. They're like, oh, well, you can hire a graphic designer because it's like you tell a graphic designer what you want, blah blah blah. You talk with them, they do it, yada yada yada. But it's like, you know how much you have to spend to get a graphic designer? And so right now this is just cost effective for me. And
But to be honest with you, Justine, I think it's more humane in the way you're presenting it, because people, I mean, sometimes you could just let it go the way it is and let people see the mistakes, because that's more of an honest and realistic.
there's a difference between mistakes and things looking like shit. No, I'm
Oh,
serious.
goodness.
No, I'm serious because the reality is like, I mean, yeah, there's going to be nothing's perfect, of course.
Well, they
And
call
if
them
there's
blip.
moments where we're just kind of like, let's say a moment we're talking and we're kind of just having moments, awkward moments. Like some of it I'll keep in, but to an extent, like there's a thing called production value.
Right.
And,
We
you
could put the
know,
bloopers on at the end. We could put the bloopers on at the end.
I think about doing something like that. Yeah. But my point is that, it's not my first podcast. Obviously I still have another podcast. And I used to make my own podcast cover when I didn't really have any resources. I think I just had Canva. But it looked really bad. It looked really sloppy. And I know that people are saying, oh, mistakes are okay, yada yada, which I don't disagree with. But the reality is that when you're an unknown person and you're competing against all of these like bigger people, you got to be competitive. That's just a reality of entertainment, of marketing, of all of that. So yeah, I'm not trying to be a perfect person, but to an extent you have to deliver quality.
No, you're right.
And sometimes I do worry that, like, I know some people's opinions that they see AI, they automatically don't support that person. And I do a lot of reading on threads and Facebook or whatever. And, in my opinion, I feel, and I notice a difference, is that if I see something that I can tell it's just all AI, like I've seen like menus, let's say for restaurants or food trucks or coffee or something like that, where they'll have pictures of the food item, but it's obviously AI and cartoonish. That I don't like because I feel like that is misleading.
Well, they actually done that back in my day too. Look at the McDonald's and all
That's
those.
different though. It's not a cartoon.
No. I'm just talking about presentation
Yeah.
also, where everything was more vibrant. Of course, you see the tomato so red, you see the lettuce so green. Like, unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's just in the advertising business. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality of it.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think it's you're not wrong. And that's actually a good point of view that you have that with like just corporation marketing and how things are going to look different than what the actual product is. And I agree with you on that. I think it is just with AI, it kind of just looks like a cartoon menu.
Yeah.
And it gives like absolutely like it doesn't look anything like it, like at all. And so, but like the thing is, I'm not gonna not buy from, let's say, like a small business coffee shop or something like that, because I understand from a small business perspective, it's like if they can't afford it. I don't know. The way I think about it is everyone's different. But I wouldn't automatically not support somebody just because of that, Like, you don't know why they're using it. You don't know, like, their situation.
Yeah,
it's like, long as their food's good or whatever, it's like, yeah. But then people are like, well, they can just use Canva and make some effort and yada, yada, yada. Which is really funny to me is because no one's bitching about Canva. Canva is a faster, easier version than Photoshop. You know Photoshop, right? So Photoshop is kind of like the OG of graphic design. And I remember I learned Photoshop in high school, and it's not easy. It's really complicated to use it for graphic design. But Canva now dominates Photoshop, and it's more user friendly because they're like, I don't know what the word is, like not gadgets, but they're like it's just there's a lot more technology in it that just makes it easier for the average user. So it makes it accessible for more graphic design for the regular person, that they don't have to go to like college or really like, you know what I mean? But the thing is like no one was, at least from what I saw, no one was bitching about that. No one was like, oh, well, you're putting graphic designers out of business because Canva makes it easier for the average person. And I get, so it's like the way I see it is that there's always going to be something new.
There is. Look at the iPhones.
I mean, I feel like that's a different story.
No, but I'm saying how they upgrade them constantly.
Yeah. Like there's always going to be something new that's going to make it easier for the
Of course.
the average user of technology. And that's just a reality. But then again, like, you know, the whole conversation of AI, there's like so like some negative things about it that I don't like is in the entertainment industry, I was hearing that they were going to try to use like AI for like background actors or something, so they don't have to pay background actors.
Hmm.
I don't like that. I also there were like an actor that was fully AI, and there was
Really?
like an agency like an agency that was for like just AI actors, but they weren't human beings. They were
Oh
like
my gosh.
obviously like pretty much robots, and so that I didn't like. Cause but there's also two ways of thinking about it. Is for me as an actor, I feel that if they're gonna use AI actors, the whole production
Should be.
has to be AI.
Yeah, you're right.
It can't be something where it's like
Half
a
and half.
real production movie or whatever, and then they just add a couple of AI characters to save some cut some corners. That I don't like. Because I think about it as I mean, we already know there's cartoons, there's video games, and I know they do use humans' voices. I think if anything, there may just be a new genre of entertainment. You know how there's like different genres like anime, cartoons,
Right. My
you know,
gosh,
live action movies now.
what other genre can they create?
I was saying, like, unless they create like an AI one. I mean, don't you know on social media that they have all these like stories and these things you watch and it's like all AI?
I know.
I mean, like, I was saying, unless they do something like that. But I actually recently saw a video yesterday on Instagram of this guy talking about the industry and how people are not liking that, as in, like, which I get. Like, I wouldn't, like, I just watch it maybe just on, like, small clips on social media for fun.
Hmm.
But I don't see myself seeing a full movie
Right.
because you know, when we watch movies and shows or whatever, that what gets us into it is the emotions, human
Correct.
emotions. I mean, we watch Ginny and Georgia; they do a good job on that.
Right.
When it comes to
It's
human
correct.
experiences,
Human compared to having a robot.
exactly. So it's like right now, anything like I said, anything that's like has dialogue, that's like a little show or whatever, that's AI generated. It has to be like I said, it's just stuff that I'll just randomly see on social media. Like I'm okay with that just for like a little quick little whatever and move on with my life, but I wouldn't like pay money to go to like an
Hmm.
AI movie theater.
No,
You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't like go and watch and pay money to like I guess that's what it is. I would not pay money to see it.
well, look how best, speaking of technology, you can go back to before boomers into the 50s. They had beautiful movies made back then, and that was real emotion.
Mhm.
And Cinemax, they added color. See, they
Mhm.
did that down the road back then. They were in black and white and added color. And a lot of people actually didn't even want the color. Yeah, they were
Really?
more,
Okay. Talk
they,
more about that. I'm interested.
oh my gosh, like From Here to Eternity, all the like Bogey, Humphrey Bogart. Here I am, dating myself. Oh, surely I'm not as old as those days, but they used to, even like sitcoms, Bewitched and I Love Jeannie, they all started out in black and white and they went ahead and added color. And the color that they added was actually not the color of what they were wearing. They just added that like when you have to color in on something like a color pencil, it was added that way. And a lot of people took a little offense to it because they felt it wasn't genuine and authentic.
Mm.
So there you go.
I remember that with I Love Lucy actually.
Mm.
It did look weird.
So that's what I'm saying to you, that people do still want that humane part of it. And I don't know how much technology is going to push away from that. And I don't think that's a good thing, because anything that with technology, there's a problem with the world that any energy is gone. You
Mhm.
lose everything. Honestly, you will lose everything. So that is what I don't like about AI or technology, because we rely on it for everything. Back in the day, the Jetsons, that's what we're living now. And I hate to say it, I don't want to go forward in time with the Jetsons and have a pill for breakfast, a pill for
We
lunch.
kind of do supplements.
No, I'm talking about meal pills. They had meal pills in their little, canter for, okay, let's go, Mr. Jetson. We're having this for
Well,
breakfast.
they
What
have
is it?
protein shakes like that.
What?
Like there's like a whole thing where it's like I forgot what this company is called, but There's like companies that literally make a shake where it's like it could be a meal replacement.
You mean it's a shake? It's a shake.
It's
At
a
least you're
shake, but the
enjoying
way
it.
that it's built, they market it as a meal replacement.
Yeah, okay, that is bad enough, but an actual pill? How do you enjoy eating? Isn't eating supposed to be a pleasure?
Is it bad that like, is that my phone? Okay, so here's my take on that. I think that one thing I don't like about eating on the regular is that when I eat, I slow down my day. I don't feel as productive because you know when you eat, your body has to digest and you
Right.
feel tired and then you want to nap.
Right.
With me, like when I eat, I feel like I just want to take a nap and then I kind of lose my motivation for the rest of the day. But you know, you have to eat to be a human. So I feel like in the case of the pill, I wouldn't mind on a regular day where I have to be productive, but that's it. Like if I have to get stuff done, but I just have to keep myself alive, I'm fine with it. But like I would not take away going out to restaurants and eating and good times and stuff like that. You know, kind of get what I'm saying?
Of course.
Yeah.
No, I look forward to my routine. I have my breakfast, my coffee. I enjoy my coffee.
Well, I mean, you have a different life than me, so.
Correct, but you like your coffee too. You have to enjoy your coffee.
I mean, I'm fine with coffee because coffee doesn't make me sluggish. I need stuff that's gonna like I said, like I know like after this we're gonna be doing my audition thing, and then I'm assuming we're gonna probably eat something.
No, you're not.
Oh, okay, well.
No, you're not. We have no food.
Well, you know what I mean. It's just like
You need it.
I wouldn't mind the pill thing in that scenario, but I would never think let's never eat again. Like that I don't obviously agree with.
Well, that's what's happening. Almost. We'll be there soon, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, like I said, they have those shakes, those meal replacements.
Your father would like that.
Yeah.
He liked both, actually. He enjoys his food too and going out and the aura of it. But yeah, so that's how far technology's come.
Yeah. How do you feel about going to like, let's say a McDonald's or whatever, and now you mostly can just like order from the screen and not really have to talk to anybody? Do you prefer, for me personally, I prefer the screen. I prefer to place my own order through mobile order, through the phone and all that, because I feel like it's less stressful for me. I feel bad if I'm like thinking like, okay, do I want this? And I'm being like, I feel bad for the other person of like having to wait for me to think like, okay, do I want?
Are you serious?
Yeah. No. Like I'm very indecisive sometimes.
Well, so is everybody else.
No, but I feel like it is more efficient.
Is it efficient in the sense? Yes, but people are losing jobs because of it.
No, actually, listen to this. I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but something new that came into the industry is like DoorDash and like Uber. So they're getting more orders through that as well. So that's gonna create more jobs because they need more bodies
to deliver.
No, because you know I do DoorDash. So I go to McDonald's. I go to McDonald's, let's say. It is not dead. Like it's always so busy. So like the people who are working the registers can now like just be in charge of the mobile orders.
No, okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and I feel like it's more efficient because in reality it's like it's not rocket science to take someone's order. You know what I mean? I mean I don't know if I'm gonna get canceled for that, but like I mean I used to work as a cashier person, you know that.
So did I.
But I feel like, and I feel like it increases more, I feel like it increases business because people are more likely to order McDonald's so they don't have to get out of bed. It's true. Back in the day, like you always had to show up to and order from the register or order from the drive-thru. You had to like make effort to like get your McDonald's.
That's not
and
good.
Now it's like you can just DoorDash it.
Yeah, I don't know. Then we're going to have a lot of obese people eating McDonald's and not having to even get out of the car or get in there, had to go pick it up.
I mean, yeah, I get that, but there's also accountability to an extent, you know what I mean? But it does also create jobs for people like me. Okay, yeah. I don't think I want to get into the whole thing about DoorDash.
No, we're drifting.
Yeah, we're drifting a little bit. We're also like, how much are we in? About 30 minutes. Okay, so
I think we covered pretty much the spectrum.
I think we need a part 2. I think there's more I want to talk about when it comes to technology.
I think you don't think we covered much.
I don't think we covered enough. I think we just covered the tip.
The tip of the iceberg, as they say. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, we'll reconnect another video and not video, oh, excuse me, podcast and go from there.
Yeah, and if you guys want let us know
Feedback.
your take on AI, like definitely send in emails, if you have any question about anything, of course that as well. Also, if you listen this far, I hope it means that you like us. If you are on Apple Podcasts, if you can rate us, that'd be great. If you're on Spotify, if you can just give us a thumbs up. And if you're on YouTube, you want to leave a comment, subscribe to us, tell the algorithm that you like us so more people can see us, that would be great. Okay, guys, bye.